We're joined by Ric Edelman, who is executive chairman of Edelman Financial Services, best-selling author of Rescue Your Money. Good to see you.
Great to be with you.
By the way, I need to fully disclose that right before we got on the air, I was haranguing Ric about my own personal situation and asking for advice. A lot of people, how often?
All the time.
What do they say? Help me?
Yeah, people want to know, am I doing the right thing? What should I be doing? I got a guy, here's what he said. And, you know, I've been named by Barron's 3 times as the #1 independent advisor in the nation. So people tend to come to me and say, you know, Ric, what should I do? And what do you think? And so on. Happens all the time. It's gratifying on one hand. I mean, you don't ask advice of someone you don't have confidence in. So it's an honor and humbling. Though on the other hand, I want to make sure people realize that I can't give them an answer in 30 seconds as much as I want to and they want me to. So, you know, it's sort of like accosting the doctor at a cocktail party and say, Doc, take a look at this thing. You know? So it matters. Like, make an appointment with me because my 2-hour answer is a lot better than my 30-second answer. And my 3-week answer is fabulous.
I love it. That's smart. Good marketing. And it's also true. Question. In this book, which I told you I found fascinating, this read, Rescue Your Money, How to Invest Your Money During These Tumultuous Times. 3 of the most important lessons, because I found about 20 in here, 3 of the most important lessons we need to know, Ric.
Well, number 1 is to diversify. Don't mix, and this is important today with the election environment and the new president and a new administration, don't mix politics and money. Everybody's focusing on what does Donald Trump mean and the Republican Congress mean for my portfolio. If you're planning for retirement, it means absolutely nothing. Because by the time you reach retirement, we're going to have another president, maybe another 2 or 3 or 4 presidents from now. So presidents have remarkably little impact on long-term effect of investment results. So diversify not with this president in mind, whether you like this president or not. Don't invest with this president in mind. Invest with your goals in mind. That's number 1. Diversify on a long-term and global basis because we don't want to make big bets. We don't want to make a bet that could cost us our ability to achieve our goals.
Define diversification.
Owning everything all the time. In other words, you want to own, there are 16 major asset classes and market sectors. Everybody thinks it's stocks and bonds. Wrong. There are stocks, but there's large cap, mid cap, and small cap. There's U.S. and international. There's growth and value. In the world of bonds, there's government, corporate, there's foreign and domestic. There's high quality and high yield. There's short term, intermediate, and long term. The list goes on. Then there's real estate, and there's commodities, oil and gas, precious metals, natural resources. The list goes on and on and on. So when I say diversify, I mean bet on every horse in the race and then own the racetrack besides. And that way, you don't care what the results are. You'll do just fine.
Second rule.
Long term. Make sure you're focusing on your goals. If your kid's going to college in 10 years, or you're retiring in 20, or you've got a life expectancy of 40, or you're dealing with aging parents, focus on your long-term goals. Don't let the noise thrown at us by the mass media on a daily basis interfere with your long-term objectives. That's the difference between what I call surfers and sailors. Surfers can get wiped out by a big wave, but sailors know that the biggest waves do not affect the tides. Tsunamis and tidal waves will not interfere with a sailor crossing the ocean. And that's the whole point. If you're trying to play the market and gamble with your future and get in while it's hot and get out when it's not, you're going to blow it because nobody knows how to do that. Instead, stay invested for decades because I can pretty much guarantee that you'll agree with this sentence. In 20 years, the stock market will be higher than it is today.
But here's the thing. You say over these X number of years, if you're in your 50s, your 60s, you don't have the same...
Of course you do.
As someone who's in their 30s.
Of course you do. Because if you're in your 50s, you have a life expectancy of 40 years. And guess what happens by the time you are 90 years old? Life expectancy by then will be 100, 105. So you have decades to go, even if you're in your 60s and 70s.
So therefore, I'll get your third one in a second, but the retirement issue, do we need to re-examine the retirement issue because what we think we need isn't as much... We need more than what we think we need because we're going to live longer.
Our future isn't what we thought it was going to be. Yogi Berra was right. The future ain't what it used to be. That's the focus, actually, of my next book that's coming out March 7 in 2017, focusing on longevity and how technology is radically altering everything. So you're absolutely right. We need to rethink our assumptions because the financial plan you've been building, the assumptions you've been making over how much should I have in stocks versus bonds and how conservative do I need to be, you're probably wrong about a lot of those assumptions. And that's what my book, Rescue Your Money, talks a lot about.
We have some friends down at Rowan University. What's your deal with them?
Graduated from Rowan University. That's where I met my wife, Jean. We both graduated from there, and we've been Huge fans of most of what I know, most of what we learned how to do, we learned at Rowan. So we're really very big fans of Rowan University.
There's something called a fossil park down there? Is that what it is?
Yes, Rowan University acquired a fossil park. What a lot of folks don't realize is that dinosaurs are relatively new science. The first dinosaur discovered in the 1840s in Haddonfield, New Jersey. Most people don't realize that South Jersey is the hotbed of paleontology on this planet. And in Mantua Township, in the farm country of South Jersey, they have a fossil park. There was a quarry built where they were mining minerals for industrial use, and they suddenly discovered fossils there. The quarry went out of business, so Rowan University bought the quarry, but didn't know what to do with it. So Gene and I gave Rowan University some money so that we can build a museum and visitor center and make it a place where kids, and actually kids of all ages, can actually not just watch science, but you can jump into the quarry, up to your elbows in the muck, and pull out your own fossils. How much fun is that?
It's fascinating. You and your wife are very committed to philanthropy, but the other thing I'm fascinated by is, in the minute or so we have 2 minutes, when did you know that you were fascinated by money and the management of money?
I never was, and I'm still not. Graduated college without ever taking a business class. Was never brainwashed by them. I'm not interested in money. I'm interested in people. I'm interested in the human dynamic, and I'm interested in what makes us so human and the relationships we have with our parents and with our siblings and with our children, and understanding the aspirations and goals and fears that we have. Money is not about business and Wall Street and corporate. Money is all about the family and the humanity, and we're very much interested in what money can do for you and how you can make it work for you and for the society around you and the community at large. That, to me, is what makes it work.
When'd you get this smart?
I'm still working on that part.
Listening to you talk about money that way, I wish some of the financial channels in the media and the financial platforms in the media could talk about money in that way. Ric Edelman is the author of Rescue Your Money, How to Invest Your Money During These Tumultuous Times, and he's a lot more than that. By the way, #1 bestseller. Appreciate it. And by the way, what's the name of the book coming up in 2017?
It's The Truth About Your Future.
Well done. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Berkeley College, TD Bank, Rowan University, New Jersey Resources, Fedway Associates, and by Gary's Wine and Marketplace. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.